Hi class, this is the beginning of week 6. We are almost finished with this course. It's coming towards the end really quickly to me. I tried to make this video 3 times this morning and kept getting interrupted. So here we are, it's almost noon, but I'm going to get it done today for you. This week you have assignment 3 due. There are 2 different options for completing that assignment. As I stated last week, I did update the instructions, so make sure you check those out if you haven't done so recently. And let me know if you have any questions about how to complete that. I've already looked through your thoughtful questions and posted my instructor-selected thoughtful questions for the discussion board. But there were some things that I wanted to go ahead and just address to everyone. And one of the things was Candace asked if ABA is the only evidence-based practice. If you'll remember back in Module 1, you learned about evidence-based practices, and in that lecture there was a discussion about why evidence-based practices are important and which practices that are commonly used are not evidence-based. And then at the end of the lecture, they stated that ABA is the only empirically validated evidence-based practice. But then I also shared with you the National Standards Report, which gave a breakdown of several different practices and the evidence that supports them, which ones are established, emerging, or unestablished. So there is a little confusion, and depending on who you talk to, some people who are staunch behavior analysts will say that ABA is the only empirically validated evidence-based practice. And in my mind, ABA is kind of an umbrella that all the other evidence-based practices fall under, because ABA focuses on observing a behavior, analyzing the antecedent behavior and consequences, manipulating those things to change the behavior. And if you'll look at any of the other interventions, they're doing that exact thing. They're just changing whether you're in a natural environment, a structured environment, whether you're focusing on changing the antecedents or the consequences. So everything else is kind of a variation of ABA or under this ABA umbrella. So peer-mediated intervention, you're changing your antecedent, your model, and providing a model, which is a peer, to create a certain behavior or to change a certain behavior or prompt a certain behavior. Video modeling is an antecedent-based strategy where you're, again, providing that model to change the behavior. So that's how that falls in, but that was a great question, Candace. Great thing to point out. And then there was another thing that kept coming up, video modeling in inclusion. This can be done really easily using technology. Use your smartphone. Put your video models on your smartphone or an iPad, and you can carry it around. And when you're going into that situation, take 5 minutes or 2 minutes to sit anywhere, sit in the hallway, sit right outside the classroom and watch that video model prior to going into that situation. It doesn't have to take very long. I know Rose stated that the best video models, especially for younger kids, are 2 minutes and shorter. And that's exactly right. It needs to be quick, show the exact environment or the exact situation and behavior that you're looking for, and then be done with it. I wanted to also share one of the strategies that I use to create a big library of video models. I had a social skills group. If you don't have direct social skills time for your students with autism, you need to kind of relook at what you're doing and possibly write that into their IEP, because direct social skills instruction is really important. So I would have a social skills group where we did direct social skills instruction, and we would have these video Fridays where they got to be actors or actresses. We would set up situations and scripts. We would videotape them doing it, which they absolutely loved. And then we would watch the video afterwards. So they liked seeing themselves on camera. It gave them a chance to practice the correct behavior. And then I had that little video on hand anytime I saw that situation coming up in real situations throughout their school day. I could pull it up and show them again or remind them of it. The final thing I wanted to discuss regarding the discussion board is about peers and who to use as a peer. And this word came up and it kind of sparked something in me, but is asking a student to be a peer model a burden? It's sad to me that that's even a question and that our society might think that helping someone with a disability could be seen as a burden. So it's up to us as the teachers, as the instructors, the leaders, to make that situation inviting, reinforcing for both the peer and the student with autism so that it's not seen as a burden. It shouldn't be viewed as a burden for a child to help someone else who's in need of help. And that can come from a discussion about why it is good and necessary to help others, situations that peer might be needing help, and who helps them, and how does that feel, and why is that good. So that's up to us as adults to really try and instill into the children and to the students that being a peer that supports someone with autism or with any disability or at any time shouldn't be seen as a burden. So that's something I wanted you to think about, and I just needed to address. But that's all I have for you this week. I'm still open to emails for technology you can use for video modeling. That was a bonus point opportunity I shared last week. That's still available until this Sunday. So if you have one, make sure you email me. All right, you guys have a great week.